tracking this for you. Not only myself, Ella, Jen, Fred, Patrick, but also Courtney and Cutter actually headed south. So Courtney is headed to Florida. Cutter is headed to South Georgia. So we will have comprehensive coverage on this over the next 24 hours. We'll switch over to the active alerts that we have here in Georgia because of Idalia. What you see in purple, that is the biggest concern right now in south central Georgia. That is a hurricane warning that is in effect. And then the orange that surrounds that for South Georgia is a tropical storm warning that is in effect. And then as you go further north, Savannah is under a tropical storm watch right now. So Savannah all the way up to like Charleston, South Carolina, now under a tropical storm watch. That will likely be upgraded to a tropical storm warning. And these alerts simply mean that tropical storm and hurricane conditions are expected. For the most part in South Georgia, we're looking at tropical storm conditions, which is basically heavy rain and at least a 39-mile-per-hour wind combined. But the small area of south central Georgia, Valdosta that you see there, that's a hurricane warning, which means they'll see heavy rain and a 74-mile-per-hour wind. So we'll continue to watch that for you very carefully. But those are the active alerts. Idalia is a Category 1 hurricane, was upgraded this morning at 5 o'clock. Winds have increased to 80 miles per hour initially when it was first upgraded to a hurricane. The winds were at 75 miles per hour, already up to 80. And Ella and I have both been looking at the wind or the pressure in it, and the pressure is dropping, and we believe that the wind will respond by going even higher. So today is a day where we are expecting Idalia to continue to strengthen as it moves north through the eastern Gulf of Mexico. You can already see the outer rain bands, that red that you see on that satellite imagery. That's rain that's already starting to impact Florida. And that's important because we're talking about landfall tomorrow, but as you already know, the impacts are felt well before landfall. So that's something that Florida is dealing with right now and will continue to deal with over the next 24 hours. Here is the latest track for Idalia, still expected to make landfall as a major Category 3 hurricane along the Big Bend region of Florida. That'll be Wednesday morning, around 9-ish, give or take, about 30 minutes. But that is what we are forecasting. That's been pretty consistent. And as you can see, one change that we are seeing today compared to yesterday is when Idalia crosses over into South Georgia, it is now expected to still be a Category 1 hurricane. Yesterday, it was a tropical storm moving into South Georgia. Now it's forecast to remain a hurricane, at least when it initially crosses over into Georgia, which is why we have that hurricane warning in South Central Georgia because of the fact that it's still expected to be a hurricane when it initially crosses over, and then it'll weaken to a tropical storm as it heads toward South Carolina. As you can see, the track still is well south and east of Metro Atlanta. We will be impacted from Idalia, but the worst will be south and east of us. And we explained this yesterday, but our showers and storms that we're seeing today and the stuff that we saw yesterday has nothing to do with Idalia. That's because of a stationary front that's parked over us. Those storms are basically firing up along that stationary front. That same front will actually move to the south as a cold front starting tomorrow, and that's really what's going to help to pull Idalia away from us. That cold front is like a blocker in football. Idalia will not go past that cold front, so it'll basically curve toward the east once it runs into that cold front, which is why our impacts won't be as bad in Metro Atlanta as what they are seeing further south and east. So here is the forecast model for Wednesday. Again, the worst of the impacts will be south and east of us, but we will be impacted in the form mainly of more rain in addition to what may be a breezier day tomorrow. So that high-resolution forecast model, you can see the outer rain bands will be impacting us throughout the afternoon. So that's something that we're going to be watching. And Ella and I have both been evaluating this. It does now start to look like Putnam County, Jasper County, maybe Oconee County, Greene County may see some heavier rain. The track for Idalia is a little bit further west, so you can see those yellows and oranges that are starting to creep a little bit further toward the west as well. For Metro Atlanta, we're still just forecasting scattered rain, but as you go further south and east, again in the Edenton, Monticello area, Greensboro, you may see some heavier rain from this. So that's something we're going to watch very carefully. And as you can see, this is happening on Wednesday. By Wednesday night, we're still seeing heavy rain in East Georgia, but that rain will start to pull out as we head toward Wednesday night and Thursday morning. So tomorrow, the day for us will be tomorrow will be the day where we will see our impacts in the form of in Metro Atlanta scattered rain and then heavier rain as you go further south and east. Here's a look at our wind forecast, and again, these are the wind gusts, not the sustained wind. We're still seeing blue in Metro Atlanta and south of Metro Atlanta, which indicate a wind gust of 20 miles per hour. So it might be a little bit breezier than normal, especially as you go south of Atlanta. That orange that you see, that is a tropical storm wind gust of 39 miles per hour. That should stay away from Metro Atlanta. So again, a little bit breezier than normal tomorrow, but not anything out of the ordinary in terms of the wind. So for us in Metro, it really will be just about the rain, which will continue because we've already been seeing the rain. So you'll just see more of that on Wednesday. Here's a look at First Alert Radar right now. Metro Atlanta is dry. We did get some rain, of course, earlier this morning, but we have dried out. We will see more showers and thunderstorms redevelop this afternoon like the past few days. So here is the latest look at our high-resolution forecast model for today. You can see that after 3 o'clock, like yesterday, those storms are just going to fire back up. So watch out for that as you're driving home from work, or if you have any dinner plans tonight, you will have to dodge storms. I'll also point out that, like yesterday, some isolated severe thunderstorms will also be possible. So there's a lot going on here over the next 24 hours. Our storms today, and then we'll be tracking Idalia on Wednesday as it makes landfall and gives us a little bit more rain. Just in case you're wondering, we are still looking at drier weather as we head toward your Labor Day weekend. So even though we have a first alert today for rain, and the rain will continue on Wednesday, by the time you get to Labor Day weekend, it'll be dry. Temperature's going to cool off by the end of the week, so much better weather to come for us in Metro Atlanta this weekend. But until then, we got to get you through this first alert today in coverage of Idalia, which we will continue to have comprehensive coverage on Atlanta News First and on our social channels, so make sure and keep up to date. And First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Valdez will have an updated forecast for you coming up at noon on Atlanta News First. We hope you have an amazing Tuesday, and until next time, we'll see you soon.